Hi guys, today we have a 2007 Honda Odyssey. We're going to be doing the front brakes on it. It's hitting the squealers and it's time to change those. This is a pretty easy to repair, something that you can do in your driveway pretty easily if you have a couple basic tools. You can use the jack that comes with your van and the lug nut, wow, I don't know what it's called, but you know, your lug nut socket thing that comes with your van. If you're using your jack and tire iron that came with your van, then you really only need a couple tools here. You need your ratchet with, it's a 14 metric or 9/16 to get your caliper off. You need a clamp of some sort to get your caliper pushed back in. You need new brake pads and you need a little brake grease. And besides that, I think you should be good to go. Alright, excuse my mess back here, but if you're not aware, your jack and everything is back here. So I'm not using this, but this is where it's located. You got all the stuff you need in order to jack it up and take your tire off right here. If you are using your jack from the back, you want to break all of these lug nuts before you jack it up. So break them all loose and then jack it up. I'm going to use this impact, so I'm going to just jack it up and do both tires at one time. It's not necessary, but it's just going to be a little quicker for me. Another good practice before you jack it up is to block a tire and also put on your parking brake. If you're using an impact, this is a 7/8 for these lug nuts. Okay, so I try to always use jack stands. I've seen a car almost fall on my husband, and so I always use them because that scared the hell out of me. And so hopefully you never have something like that happen. But if you don't have a jack stand, best practice, I put my tire under the vehicle so that if it does fall, it hits the tire and you might have a little more space to get out of the way or a little more time, etc. But just a recommendation so you don't get squished. This is a great time to inspect your rotor here. You want to feel across it, and if you have any deep grooves or gouging, that means it's probably a good time to get it resurfaced or replaced. Mine feels pretty good, so we're going to keep moving. Next, we're going to take the caliper off. So we're going to do this guy and this guy right there. When you're tightening these or loosening these, this can spin, and all you just need is a crescent wrench. It's 3/4. Put that on there, keep it from spinning, tighten it down or loosen it, whatever you're doing. When you have those off, then your caliper should slide off. Try not to let it hang by your brake line. But now we are to our brake pads right there. I try to set my caliper up here so it's not hanging by this brake line and I don't have to have anything sitting here for it to set on. But now we are right to the brake pads, and essentially we should be able to pull these out, put our new ones on. So basically we can just slide these out. Bam, there's the old brake pad. Now, your new brake pads might come with this hardware. If it does and you want to change it out, then it's pretty easy. You just pull this one out and put the new one in. If not, like mine, then you just put your new brake pad on. So I just pulled this one out the other side, and that one is very low. So it was definitely time to change them. Anyways, we will compare these really quick. Let's see if we can get in the shade so that we can see a little better. It definitely did not wear evenly. As you can see, like you can see the groove here. It's hard to get it on camera, but it's a significant difference in the wear. This one has no groove left and it is almost down to metal, so good thing we are changing these. So this metal piece is called the squealer. And I believe you want that on the caliper side, which for this is going to be on the inside. I think that's pretty much every vehicle actually. So we're going to put this one on the inside and put our one without the squealer on the outside. You want to do your best not to touch this side with your hands while you're installing. You just don't want to get any grease or anything on your brake pad. We're going to put a little bit of brake grease or caliper grease on on the back of our brake pad to reduce noises and just make everything nice. We want to put grease like along here and on each little end, and just a little bit. You don't need a lot. Just a little bit goes a long way. Smooth it out. You can also get this grease in a much smaller container. They'll have like little baggies, like little, they're about like this big, and just a little like packet of grease, so that you don't have to have like a whole big thing sitting around your garage. You can just buy a little bit of it each time you do your brakes. We got our grease on and spread out. Not sure if you can see how thin that is, but you don't need a lot. Make sure you do like the sides right here of these little end tips. That's going to help get it into your hardware a little bit easier. Alright, we'll try to get this in here. The pad side goes to the rotor. But to make it a little easier, I'm going to show you on this side so you can see a little bit better. But basically, I stuck the top tip in, and then I used my flathead screwdriver to just kind of pry this tab out so that I could slide the other side in. It just makes it a little easier. If you don't need to do that, you don't have to. Whatever works for you. Another thing we can do while we're in here is check our caliper pins. I added a little bit of grease to mine, just to make sure they are nice and springy and are not getting stuck because they don't have enough grease on them. And lastly, we got to push our caliper back in because our new brake pads are thicker, so the caliper is set for the more worn brakes, and so now we need to squish this back in so that it's big enough for our new good brake pads. Alright, so the way I do this is I get my old brake pad, put it on there like that, and then I have a C-clamp here that I'm going to, well, this one's not long enough, so I got to grab a different one. But put a C-clamp on there and clamp it back in. So that's the method I use. There's lots of other methods to do this. I'm gonna link a video in the description that has, I think you have like 4 different ways that you could do this. Just for your information if you don't like this method. And he's a little more detailed about how you want to do it. Alright, mine's not all the way back in, but I think we're back in enough to get it on over this. So let's try it. We're gonna put our bolts back in. And I don't recommend tightening these down with an impact. I don't think that's a very good idea. So I'm gonna go get my ratchet set and tighten these down. Then you just throw your tire back on and you're good to go. Do your other side and no more squealing. One thing I wanted to show you real quick is, so I just finished the other side, and these are obviously have very different wear. So that indicates to me that there may be a problem. Got the same thing for the other two. You can just see that there's significant difference. And then the other thing is the caliper for this side went in pretty easy. Didn't really have to work that hard. But the one with almost no pad left went in really hard. So if that happens to you, you potentially have a caliper wearing out. It's getting stuck, and which is causing the brake pad to wear more because it's staying compressed instead of, so the caliper is what squeezes the brake pad. So it's squeezing and then it's not coming back out when you release the brake pedal. So I'm going to keep an eye on it, on mine, and possibly next time I need to change my brakes, I'll do the caliper as well. But keep an eye out for that. And don't forget to unblock your tire and take off your parking brake. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, please like and subscribe. And I'll be having more minivan Honda Odyssey content coming soon. Got a couple leaks I need to track down, and I know my drain plug, my oil drain plug is kind of stripped. So that's going to be coming at some point in the next month or so. So Stay tuned, and as always, stay independent out there.